Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that is ultra rare, very exciting, and what some people consider to be the holy grail of Doctor Who collectibles from the 1960s. We are looking at today the 1965 release by Bell Toys from their Doctor Who series of toy merchandise. And what we are looking at today is the Astro Ray Dalek Gun. And this is the item in front of us. Now, this was released during the mad era of Dalekmania. Obviously, after the initial Dalek serial had aired, everyone went mad for Daleks in 1965. And then, of course, they did the follow-up, the Dalek Invasion of Earth, and that just blew up the Dalekmania. So this was released during the hype of the Dalekmania of the 1960s. And this is the Dalek Ray Gun. Now, like I say, this is what some people consider to be the holy grail of the 1960s Doctor Who toys, because it is so rare and hardly ever comes up for sale, and when it does, it's at extortionary prices. And what can I say, it's that rare and it is that sought after that the price is absolutely horrendous for this particular item. Anyway, this is the item in front of us, and this is the front of the box, and it says from the BBC TV series Doctor Who. And it's got Doctor Who Astro Ray Dalek Gun, and then you can see an image of two Daleks, and you can see the Astro Ray Gun being pointed at the Dalek and being fired. And it says with ray beam, ray darts, complete with bulb, use type U11 batteries not included. And it says a Bell toy made in England. Okay, that's the front of the box. I'm just going to drop the box down so we can see what's on the bottom of the box. So on the bottom of the box, it says, just zoom out a little bit, it says Bell Toys Dalek Gun, a member of the South Cross group. If I turn the box to the side, again, it's just got Dalek Gun on the side. And the top of the box, again, it says Bell Toys Dalek Gun, and it's got BBC TV 1965. And the other end of the box, it's got, again, just Dalek Gun. So that is your box with the Dalek Gun, or the Astro Ray Dalek Gun, I should say. Okay, let's not waste any more time. Although, just one thing that I would like to point out, I mean, this looks like a gun that was used by Mark 7 in the episode Mission to the Unknown, which didn't feature the Doctor, but was a prequel to the Dalek serial that was coming up. But it looks like it was a gun that Mark 7 used of the Space Security Agency. So Mark Corey, I should say. I do apologise, I've been calling him Mark 7, but it's actually Mark Corey, who was the Space Security agent, and he had crash landed on Kemble, and they were trying to find out if this was a Dalek base for an invasion. And it was led into the story, or was a prequel into the story of the Daleks' master plan, which will follow in a few weeks' time. But incidentally, this single episode didn't feature any of the regular cast, so no William Hartnell as the Doctor, no Peter Purvis as Stephen Taylor, and no Katrina as Adrian Hill. And Jean Martin, incidentally, did appear in this particular episode, the former wife of John Pertwee, and she played one of the security agents, Sarah Kingdom. Anyway, that's what's on the front of the box. Let's open the box up now. Let's not delay anymore. Let's open the box up now and let's have a look at the contents, which we're all eager to see. Okay, so I have removed the lid from the box, and this is what we've got. So I wanted to show it to you in the box because I think the box is just it just makes this product. You've got the two Daleks on either side here, which holds the gun into position. You've got two slots at either end, which support the gun, and you've got the three darts at the bottom there, which are rubber tipped. Let's just take one of those darts out. So you can see that they are rubber tipped, and if you wet them, they would stick on, you know, most things. Also they are old, so the rubber is probably not as stickable as it would have been back in the day. It's still very soft and pliable in actual fact, on all the darts, although it might be slightly out of shape. But if you wet it and fired it, I'm sure it would stick on things like ceramics, tiles, that kind of thing, maybe even on the walls or on the vinyl floor, something like that. Or you can just, I think they, no, I'm not going to put them off just in case I break them, but I'm pretty certain the rubber tips come off of the darts, and each end I think is pretty much like this, so I don't think it matters which end went into the gun. Okay, so we got three darts, and they're all just as nice and with the rubber just as nice and pliable, but I say you do need to wet it. And then the third one is still inside the holder in the box, as that hasn't torn. The other two have torn away, so they just rested in there, but this bottom one hasn't. Now this one is a little bit more, this one definitely needs to have a little bit of water put on it to soften it up, because this one has gone hard, so the tip may need to be replaced on that final dart. But the other two are superbly and nice and soft, so this one probably does need a little bit of wetting to make it soft and pliable again. Okay, that is the darts. Now let's pull this camera back and let's have a look now at the Dalek gun. So I'm just going to take the gun out of the box. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the box out of the way, so we've got a little bit more room to look at this Dalek gun. Okay, so this is the Astro Ray gun. Now, just before we have a good look at it, I just want to get some sizes of it. So we're looking at about 25 centimeters in length, as you can see. Now, if we measure the height, we're going to measure from the tip of the battery cover to the bottom of the gun, of the handle, and that's 20 centimeters. And if we measure the widest point, I suppose, is the diameter of the ray light, which is 6 centimeters. Okay, so the darts load into the bottom section. The top section is a light. Now that section lifts up, and you pop in your two type C batteries into the slots there, and then you press the trigger forward, so that this moves the, I'm assuming that moves everything forward. I'm just looking at that to see if that's the case. So that would move all the metal strips forward, and push the batteries up against the light to make it work. They're little, but it's a very basic operation. So you've got a metal strip which connects to the back of the battery and to the front of the battery, which creates a circuit. And once that power hits the back of the bulb, it will come on. Now the only problem with this one is that the bulb has blown, and unfortunately I don't have another bulb that I can show you. When we first got this item, it was working, but if you just take the end off, you can unscrew the cap. Oops. So the bulb section comes out, and you can unscrew the cap at the back there, just like so, and out comes the bulb. But if we zoom in on this bulb, let's try and get an image where we can see, but you can see that the bulb is actually blown, unfortunately. I can't get a clear image on this. If I come in too quickly, we can't get a clear image, but there we go. So you can see the bulb is actually blown as I got in closer then, but again we've gone into blurred motion. Let's just try one more time. No, we're not going to get close enough for that. But it is blown, so it does require a new bulb. And unfortunately, I don't think I've got a new bulb. Although I will just have a quick look. Okay, so sadly I did look to see if I had a replacement bulb to go in here, and I did look in one of my Chab Valley projectors, but unfortunately the bulb is blown in the Chab Valley projector as well, so I can't show you the light. But it's a basic circuit. I mean, circuits, you can't go wrong with a circuit. So if you've got the metal rod which attaches at two ends, and you've got a power source that goes in the middle, and then you touch a bulb to it, it will light. And I can't see anything wrong with the metal strip that's in the gun. The batteries, you would just slot your C-type batteries, which are these style batteries. It takes two batteries, they just go in, they slot in there, and then your bulb would light up when you press this white button at the back. And what that does, basically that moves everything forward, so everything touches, and you get the connection to light the bulb. Okay, so that's that. As I say, sadly we can't show you that, but what we can show you is the darts. So that's the dart loaded, and I'm just going to put it back here, and we're going to fire the dart because I want to show you how well this goes. So it fires at some force, believe me. So oops, didn't even load that properly. Pop that all the way in. Incidentally, because it's a sprung sprung spring on the bottom, you need to push it in, and the darts, the end of the darts, they hook into the section which holds the trigger back, and once the trigger's locked back, then you can the dart will sit in just like that. It'll be held in position, and to release it you pull the trigger, just like we're going to do here, just like that, and the dart fires out. And you can do that to all of the darts. They all slot in just like that one, and then again you just load up, aim up, and pull the trigger, and out they fire. So that is the way the gun operates. Let's just show you one more time. Oops, didn't get that one in properly. As a kid, having this gun would have been perhaps a little bit dangerous. I can understand why toys like this these days are not the thing to give kids. If you was looking at that, if you was holding that in your face and you was pushing it in and it didn't lock in correctly and popped out, it could easily hit your eye and injure you. So it is a strong spring that fires the weapon, hence the reason why this really now is not for kids. It really is a collector's piece. So let's fire it one more time. There we go. So that is your Dalek Holy Grail, as some people refer to it as, the ultra rare 1965 Dalek Astro Ray Gun. Okay, let's pop it back in its box so it doesn't lose its appeal. Okay, so I've put it back in its box, and as you can see, I mean, it does display really, really nicely, especially with the lid. In actual fact, if I laid that down just like that, and I put the lid behind it, just like that, that does make an absolutely awesome display. And you can imagine that being in a Dalek or Doctor Who toy museum. It is just absolutely wonderful, this item, and I can understand why people call it the Holy Grail, because of what it is. Even though it's only a plastic toy, I'm sure it'd be easy for this day and age for it to be replicated, but obviously this is an original 1965 one, and that's, I'm guessing, why they called it the Holy Grail. So, which begs the question, how well did this item do back in the day? Well, I'll be honest with you, I really have got no idea how many of these were produced. I mean, Bell Toys back in the 1960s were quite a large toy company. and they produced a lot of toys for children over the years. And if they produced a toy, I'd imagine they would have done a fair quantity of them, and they would have gone out to the kids of the time. Obviously, 1965, we're talking 60 years ago. My God, 60 years ago when this actually came out. So, how many of them would have survived the test of time? Well, I'm sure people would have lost the darts. I suppose once the darts are gone, the gun wouldn't have been any good unless you used it just as a torch. But I suppose once the light went, the bulb went, or anything like that, maybe it wasn't replaced. I don't know. I'm surmising here as to why there's so few of them around these days. But at the time, I'm sure a quantity, as I say, would have been produced, and they would have sold just like all the other Bell toys of the time. So let's move forward 60 years to 2025, which is where we are today. Do you see these come up on the platforms very often? The answer to that is very, very rarely do these appear on any of the platforms. And when they do, they are stupid money. When I was doing research, I did see one other one that was available on one of the platforms, I think. I can't remember which platform it was. But it was being asked 2,250 quid. So that gives you an idea of the type of money that this particular item demands. I think that's well over the top. I think it's at least 500 quid overpriced. So, you know, really and truthfully, yeah, it's well overpriced. But unfortunately, supply and demand with these items, people really want them. People are searching for these particular items, and they are so hard to find, believe me. Anyone that's got one of these will not want to part with it. However, we at Midas Touch have managed to find this one, and this one only. And as of now, this particular item is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items, which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you'd be looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this absolutely wonderful and amazing 1965 Bell Toys Doctor Who's Astro Ray Gun with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.